Are you making one of these 5 planning mistakes when you are planning for your middle schooler this homeschooling year? Let's fix them before they lead to burnout for both of you. In this short video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most common planning mistakes I see with homeschooling middle schoolers. I'm going to show you what to do instead, using a framework that you can apply right now so you can be confident in your fall schedule before the official day of homeschool. And you can actually enjoy what's left of the summer without the stress. You'll also get my 10-minute shift planning framework, and it is a key part of my 3-season homeschool method. This is the same system I used with my daughters to bring peace, purpose, and actual progress back into our homeschool rhythm. When I first developed this shift method, our days went from chaotic and reactive, maybe you can relate, to more calm and focused. To be fair, not every day was calm and focused, but overall, there was a calmer, more focused vibe in our household after implementing the things I'm going to share today. My daughter started getting more done in fewer hours with far less reminding to stay on the task. You know what I'm talking about. And best of all, now they had guilt-free time to enjoy activities that brought them joy. Reading, creating, just being, going out on the mini bike and riding in the back field, or playing with the cats or whatever. Guilt-free time. And I didn't feel like I had to be, let's be honest, nagging. Have you got your work done yet? All that shifted. That's why this is called the shift method. So here are the top 5 planning mistakes I see homeschool moms make in middle school. I say this with so much love because I have made every single one of these, and I also made the shift, made the change, and saw the difference that it brought to our household, which is why I want to share it with you today. Number 1, no long-term goals. When I didn't have a plan for what was going to happen in high school, what was going to be beyond that, everything felt kind of directionless. It was everything for the moment rather than thinking in long-term goals. Number 2, lack of academic rigor. Now, if you are coming from the elementary years, you haven't entered the middle school years yet, you might be used to less academic rigor, as it should be. The elementary years are full of directed play, learning through play, some academic stuff, but it's not super rigorous. It's not meant to be. It's a different stage of life, different stage of development. But when you move to the middle school years, if you continue with that lack of rigor, if the schedule still feels like an elementary school schedule, lots of freedom, little structure, lots of group activities, not really outcome-based. That's what I mean by the academic rigor. There's going to be problems. Number 3, too many subjects at once. I was guilty of this. I was like, we need to do all of these things. And my kids got overwhelmed. We ended up dropping things mid-year, and then you feel like you're failing. It's not good. Number 4, short work blocks. So I was like, I'm going to make this schedule. It's going to be great. In the elementary school years, we can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's kind of like, you have stations for things. We're going to read this book, and then we're going to do this craft, because our attention spans are like, this long. And again, back to number 2, not a lot of academic rigor in those younger years. The short work blocks make sense. Moving into these middle school years, what was happening is I'd have 30-minute work blocks, and we were doing 30 minutes of math, 30 minutes of language arts, 30 minutes of social studies, back to back to back to back. So they would just get into their math because you've got to get your brain in the gear. What was I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Starting to think it through, and you get two questions done, and oh, now we're on to language arts. Now I have to think about writing an essay or a paragraph or a story. They were constantly being interrupted, and it was really hard to get into a productive flow. Big mistake. No creative or alone time. So this, we introduced alone time pretty early on, mostly for my sanity. Turns out it was for their sanity too. But tweens need quiet time to process things. Often it is left out completely. We think, well, no, we've got to get all these things done. And if you're just being, you're wasting time. You could be doing more math questions. The truth is, they're trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to figure out, like, okay, my body is doing different things, it's growing and developing. My brain is starting to tell me different things. How do I process all these things? Now I've got these big feelings. What do I do with them? And they still need time to play, to be with their thoughts, to be creative, to spend time not feeling like they're on the clock, like they have to do the next thing. So those are the 5 things: no long-term goals, lack of academic rigor, too many subjects at once, short work blocks, no creative or alone time. Now, you might have tried solving some of these things. Maybe you purchased some expensive curriculum bundles. You were hoping they covered everything. You wanted like an all-in-one so that you made sure you covered all your bases. But all of those things perhaps were not necessary for what your child's goals were. And then a lot of it ends up being busy work. Busy work doesn't feel good for anybody. People know when they're doing busy work. You know when you're doing busy work. If you're working part-time or full-time, even at home, like busy work, the things that don't really matter, but you feel like you're doing something. Kids know when there's busy work. And sometimes those all-in-one expensive curriculum, there's a lot of busy work. Because sometimes we equate the amount of work with value, and there's often actually a mismatch. Or perhaps you have leaned into this relaxed elementary style routine. Maybe you still have littles and you have your oldest is going into the middle school years, and you're like, how do I balance this? My middle schoolers need more structure, but my littles are still fairly unstructured. How do you move from the elementary mindset to the middle school mindset when it comes to academic rigor? And how do you switch back and forth throughout the day? I remember when my first daughter moved into the middle school years, and I was still trying to, do that elementary style routine because we'd gotten good at it, but it wasn't working. So I had to figure out, okay, what is going on? How can we change? And then I figured it out with my first daughter. So thankfully, by the time my second daughter was in the tweens, she had it a little bit better. By the time my third daughter hit the tweens, we kind of had it figured out. And hopefully, by sharing this with you, you won't have to go through all of that figuring out bit. These short work blocks, you want to keep moving throughout the day, but your kids aren't hitting that real focus or that flow. But maybe it's because you feel like, oh, well, we've got all this stuff to do. How are we going to fit it in? That's okay. We have a solution. Um, when you are filling the day from start to finish with tasks and lessons, and there's no time for thinking, for imagination, for emotional processing, it doesn't work. Those are trying to get like the all-in-one curriculum, trying to keep people moving. All of those are surface level fixes. The deeper issue is that your homeschool plan hasn't grown up with your child. Middle schoolers need more structure, they need deeper thinking time, they need space to stretch, not necessarily more activities. So here's a 3-step simple reset you can try right away. Number 1, define future-driven goals. So look at your kid and go, where can I see them going? What does their future look like? Perhaps this isn't what I would like my kids' future to look like, but based on their gifts and talents, and I've got other videos about that where you can go deeper into that, where do I think they're headed? Now, pick the 4 core subjects that align with where your child is headed. High school, next, trade school, creative paths, like whatever. What are they going to need? Make sure you're picking those. Secondly, break the day into 3 work sessions. So you have a morning work session, early afternoon, later afternoon. And then you can blend a block schedule and a loop schedule so things actually get done without being overwhelmed, without the overwhelm. And I talk more about some of those things in other videos. But we've got 3 parts to the day. We have anchor times between those where you're connecting with your kids. And then we've got the block schedule, as in we've got those time blocks between the anchor times like snacks and lunch and dinner and so on. And then the loop scheduling, because you have more on your schedule than you do work sessions during the day. So you're going to loop those through. And it's actually going to be way less overwhelming. Number 3, you're going to build in quiet time for creativity or reflection every single day. You might think, I don't have time for this. You don't have time to not have time for it. Personally, I would recommend right after lunch, there's like a 90-minute quiet time. 60 minutes minimum. 90 is great. It gives you time to like restore. And if the morning felt chaotic, then after this quiet time, it's like a reset for your day. And you'll redeem some of the time. You don't want to catch up from the morning. You're going to continue whatever you had planned for the afternoon, but it's going to go much better because everybody's had a reset. So this works because it aligns your homeschool with your child's stage of development. It's not just about like getting things done. It's about creating space to actually accomplish the things that need to be accomplished, not busy work, and building a more peaceful, connected home in the process. Now, if you'd like my shift planning framework that shows you how to reset your homeschool in just like 10 or 15 minutes, drop the word shift below. I'll send it to, I'll get your email, I'll send it to your inbox so that you can get sorted out before the school year begins. So you can avoid the burnout that happens when you're pushing too hard, too fast on things that may or may not matter. And your tween can finally feel supported, not constantly frustrated. This 10-minute guide will give you clear, doable steps that you can implement right away. So you're not scrambling to regroup in October because September was a complete wash. You'll be able to start confidently in September and keep moving without the burnout. So go ahead, comment the word shift below, and I will get that to you. Until next time, bye.